Hi friends, it's Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me in my craft room today. It's the second of the month, which means it's time for the Sheetload of Cards creative team hop, where you can see how we took Call Me Crafty Owl's November 2025 sheetload of cards and make them our own, put a little twist on it. And I'm so excited that this month it's a collaboration with Sassy's LLC. You guys know how much I love Sarah Liz. She's one of my crafty besties, and I text her and tell her how wonderful she is often. So I'm so excited that she is collaborating with SheetLoad. I feel like the printables, the SheetLoad printables, and the emergency card kit printables really just work so well hand in hand. So excited to show you everything I'm using today. I've printed out the thank you sentiments on some Madero Beach cardstock, and I picked 3 of Call Me Crafty Owl's pattern paper that she's come out with. If you're a member of her channel, absolutely stunning paper. So I use my brand new color printer. Thank you so much for all of your watching and affiliate shopping, because it helped me buy my new color printer. And I printed out again 3 of my favorite patterns from her. I have some, like I said, that I printed my thank yous on Madero Beach cardstock. I have some ground coffee cardstock from Fawn, and I'm going to be using a 2¼ inch circle from Trinity Stamps. And I couldn't find a scallop circle that looked like the SheetLoad design, so I decided to grab this framed circle from ModaScrap. It's a really cool design, and I'm going to be using that for my scallop circle in the sketch. I went ahead and cut everything. I followed the SheetLoad sketch. I'll have Crafty Owl's video down below so you can download the sketch and be able to get it yourself and learn how to become a member of her channel to get her stunning pattern paper. And I'm using the guide, which is an extra page in this month's sheetload of cards, to add my strips of paper. So I'm going to just use some low tack tape to attach this cardstock to my little layout here that I printed out just on some scrap white paper in black and white. And I will use liquid glue to glue on the strips. I really love the floral with the cream background the most, so I'm gonna make those like on top. I'm not gonna follow the design exactly. I'm going to make sure that those 2 floral pieces are on the very top of all the layers of the strips, because I just think it's so beautiful and I wanted it to be the star of the show. So while I'm layering these down following the sketch, I just wanted to remind you that you can find the playlist for today's collaboration hop down below in my description box. You can just play all of us that are crafting along today, using the sketch and using the sentiments, hopefully, from Sassy's LLC. And I am just excited to see how everyone else uses this. I'm curious to see who else is going to use Crafty Owl's beautiful paper. There's also some beautiful paper in the emergency card kit number 87 with like rainbows. If you know Crafty Owl, she's Team Rainbow. So I'm excited to use some of those papers and other sentiments that Sarah Liz has given us for free, by the way. Or you can get a more extended kit on our Patreon. But I'm excited to see how everyone's going to use everything this month, so I will be hopping along with that playlist link as well. So I am finishing up adding this last strip of paper. I'm not going to show every single card. I actually made all 4 of these exactly the same, and I really followed the sketch almost to a T this time. I just loved this paper and this design of the card, so I'm excited to follow along and just really make the same card 4 times. I do like the sketch is only 4 this time. I do like to make big batch of thank you cards, but I like this little set of 4 thank yous. I think this is also like a great gift. Like you could just put these 4 cards together. Everyone needs thank you cards, so I think this would be a really nice gift as well. I finished adding the strips to my panels, so I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, which was a gift from Sarah Liz, so of course I had to throw that in as well. And I'm just going to use my guillotine trimmer here to trim off the excess strips, and I lined up the edge of that cardstock panel to the edge of my guillotine trimmer, so that way I'm not cutting any more of that Madero Beach cardstock. I'm just trimming off my scraps, and I'm tossing them into my little side catcher here from Glassboard Studio. And I'm going to repeat that on all 4 of these panels. So I'll get that one trimmed, and then I'll just take my little catcher here and toss those scraps into the recycle bin. Next, we're going to glue the striped panel to this dark brown panel. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my liquid glue. I'm not going to use my press this time. I'm just going to use my bottle here and add liquid adhesive to the back of the panel. I'm going to grab my A7 T-square ruler from Pear Blossom Press, and I'm going to use the 1/8 guide to attach the cream panel onto the brown cardstock. So that helps just get it nice and centered onto that panel. And then I'm going to flip it over and use the 1/4-inch notch to be able to add the panel that I just assembled onto what is going to be my card front. Now you could just glue this directly to a card base, but I like using my super sturdy white cardstocks for my bases, so I didn't want to cut a base out of the Madero Beach cardstock, so I'm just going to treat it like a card front, and I'll glue these onto my white card bases once I'm done assembling all of these card fronts together. So I'll go ahead, and now that that is centered, I'm going to work on my sentiment. So I've used the thank you sentiment from the Sassy's LLC emergency card kit, and I die cut that ModaScrap framed die to be what is going to like be the scallop, I guess you could say, from the sketch around my sentiment. So I just used some liquid glue and just glued those together. I wish it was a little smaller, but it's fine. I think it works really well, and I like that you can see a little bit more of that brown cardstock. I'm using some 1mm foam to add to the back of my die cut circle. I just wanted a little bit of dimension. I didn't want to be super thick, and so I just feel like 1mm foam works perfect for this. I'm going to use my grid to get my card front centered and then make it a little easier for me to add this thank you to the center of the card. I'm trying to make sure I have like equal spacing, top, bottom, left, right, and that will finish off the card front. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of those assembled, and I'm going to grab my A2 card bases, and I will use my giant tape runner to add adhesive to the back of each card front and glue them to the card base. I was thinking about printing out another sentiment to put on the inside, but there's too many good ones to choose from, so I'm going to come back later to the inside of the cards and add, some fun sentiments on the inside. To add some last little bit of sparkle, I'm grabbing my copper glitter pops of color and just adding 5 around the card, and then I'll tap the back to give it more of an enamel dot look rather than that Hershey Kiss look that you can sometimes get with liquid embellishments. So now that my 4 cards are done, let's take a final look at how they turned out. I just am so grateful for this community, Sarah Liz and Crafty Al, for just giving us these amazing sketches and sentiments, and a special thank you to Crafty Al for gifting her team her beautiful pattern paper. I can't wait to use them on more fall cards. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye!